Hey, it's Zackie, and welcome back channel guys, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. In this video, basically we're gonna break down Fenrir's kit. I know I have a lot of breakdown videos to make, like Lyra, Tianlang, and also a proper review on what I think about version 2.4, because I think they did a very good job. But in these videos, I wanna cover Fenrir first, because I wanna let people know should they be saving for Fenrir or not. And okay, again, this is the CN version of Fenrir, so global mic changes, right? So Fenrir is basically a 12-year-old DJ girl living in the city of Miroria under the care of, I do not know what's her name, but we'll call her Makima. She first made her debut in Tower of Fantasy version 2.2 Miroria expansion PV in the CN version of Tower of Fantasy, giving all World main a hope because she is actually a Shatter Simulacra, and considering that Global does not have Bayuki, praying that they will make Tianlang a Shatter because literally his weapon in Global is called a Thunderbreaker, and it would be very a shame if it does not Shatter. But if he doesn't, I guess Global will just have to wait for Fenrir, and I do enjoy playing with Fenrir a lot. Like, I play her combat, not in the other way. She's 12, okay? Ever since she's out, I have been using her as my main DPS. She is pretty fun to play and very straightforward on her kit. So in these videos, we'll be covering her kit, her awakening, her Simulacra Trait, and a little bit of a team comp that I think is the best for F2P, right? As far as its real release, Fenrir has released about 3 songs. One which is the Mirror Floor Hall, which is actually a cover song during version 2.2 PV teaser. Chocolate, which plays when you use her skill and even in the nightclub. And last but not least, the latest one, which is With You, and that's literally my favorite song to listen right now. They're all wonderful songs. If you have not checked them out yet, a lot of people already upload those songs on YouTube, so do check them out. They are Mandarin, but I do think that when it comes to Global, it might just be English. Now, Fenrir weapon is called the Gleipnir. It's a Volt element falling under the DPS resonance. It has a shatter rate of 13.5 and a charge rate of 10.5. And yes, she actually shatters really well, but still not as great as Alice Saki combo. But against enemy that are weak to Volt, she definitely solved that problem. Now, Fenrir has 2 resonance, and depending on how you build your weapon. First is definitely a regular Volt resonance, activate by equipping 2 or more Volt weapons, increasing Volt attack by 20% and Volt resistance by 40% in the CN version. The other one is balanced resonance, or you could call it rainbow resonance. So what it does is that it increases all attack by 15%, and activate by equipping 3 weapons with different element. This effect works in the background, meaning that you have to use every different element. For example, Saki, Fenrir, Ling, right? You cannot have the same element in like, you know, like fire, Fenrir, right? It's not gonna activate it. It's gonna activate the fire resonance instead. Let's cover her combat kit. So her normal attack first. While on the ground, attacks 7 times. So these are the damage shown on the screen in CN, right? This is 7 hit combo, right? This is not recommended to do, but you can do it. It is very fast, right? It doesn't seem like it has a lot of problem. She just does this little cute pose at the 3rd attack. Her area attack is called the Prison Break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That's it. She also has an area attack called Wolf Bite. While on the ground, hold the attack button after the 2nd or 4th basic attack to trigger Wolf Bite. Charge forward quickly and deal 114% of attack, plus 6 damage, and knock back the target. After triggering Wolf Bite, press and hold the basic attack to trigger an uppercut. Perform an upward claw swipe, dealing 153.9% of attack, plus 8 damage, and suspend the target, right? So, 1, 2, that's it, right? Okay, so that's the Wolf Bite. It's legit called the Wolf Bite. So if you like just do this and then just keep clicking it, it should perform a combo. But if you want to trigger the uppercut, after triggering this, just keep clicking it, just hold your attack and she'll do a uppercut. And maybe you can change to area attack or something like that. So she has another basic hold attack up to 5 to 6 times and then hold attack, right? While on the ground, hold the attack button after the 5th or 6th basic attack to trigger Wild Han, fall from the sky, becoming temporarily invincible to deal 420.3% of attack plus 22 damage and suspend the target. So while on the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So that's the superhero landings called the Wild Hunt. So when she lands, right, she suspend the target, right? So it's up to you if you want to use it. Next we have Impact Fall. Very straightforward. That's basically her jump and dive attack, right? It deals a total of 330.6% attack plus 7 damage and suspend the nearby target, right? There we go. Jetpack up, It looks something like this. No, sorry. There we go. That's it. That's it. So you can actually hold it, and when you hold it, right? Yeah, when you hold it, it will trigger a roar, granting temporary invincibility, dealing 330.6% of attack, plus 17, and knocking enemy back. So if you don't hold, that's it. You hold, you would knock enemy back and suspend them, and you also have a little bit of iframe right there. Alright, next is my favorite. It's called Soundtrack. Jump, attack, and then hold attack. Well, everyone hold the attack button after the second attack of Prison Break to trigger Soundtrack. Dash through the air in multiple directions, dealing 458.3% of attack plus 24 damage, right? You can keep doing it, right? You will come back to the same location and you can just keep doing it. And this is actually very good for Shatter. I use this for Shatter, right? That's a total of 458%, right? That's actually a lot. You can also do that if you want, but I would just keep doing this. She's a very wonderful aerial attacker. Next is her dodge attack called the Echo. Perform a close range claw attack, dealing 383.2% of attack plus 20 damage to surrounding target and knocking them down. So her dash attack is very straightforward. That's it. Right. The back dash is also the same, right? It goes forward. Now this is a special thing about her, and if you can maximize this, she actually has a passive called Reverb. So every of her attack, each attack, right? For example, this one, right? This is one attack. Each attack has a 50% chance of adding one note to the target, lasting for 15 seconds and maxing out a total of 5 notes. See that note floating? Yeah. There's a 50% chance you can trigger that. So you can actually stack them up to 5 times, right? And they last for 15 seconds. Just, yeah, there we go. So you can see 5 of them, right? So what do they do? We'll explain that later. So there's a way to actually activate them 100%, which is through the skill Wolf Bite. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Wolf Bite grants 100%, right? And also Wild Hunt. What was Wild Hunt again? Wild Hunt is this. Right, Superhero Landing also would trigger it 100%. And then Impact Fall. Was Impact Fall the one with the dive? Yeah, this one. So Impact Fall will also grant you a note 100% chance. This note actually has a passive and a way to play. And in order, like, these notes are floating, and in order to explode them, there's 2 skills that you have to use. One is Soundtrack, right? This is Soundtrack. And then Echo, which is her dash attack, right? So let's build up the notes first. Alright, so we build up the notes, and then we do a dash attack. That will detonate it. It will explode and it will last for 15 seconds, right? It's like a burn, but not really. It's like a... Okay, let me explain it. So this note actually has a passive. So they have 2 passives. So allow me to explain it from the index team. Soundtrack and Echo detonate all notes on the target, dealing 35% of attack damage, double damage if 3 or more notes are detonated. And the second passive is, if 2 or more notes are detonated, the target will enter a state of intoxication, dealing 1% of max HP damage per second for 16 seconds. The damage from detonating notes and intoxication is considered as dodge attack damage, meaning Huma matrices will work. So there's 2 ways. Like if you build up the note, right? There's a note, right? In order to explode this note, you just do this, right? And then it will have a intoxication. This one is called intoxication. It will last for 16 seconds and will deal 1% damage over time for 16 seconds, which is total of 16 seconds. The reason why you're seeing 2 number is because I have Puma matrices on. If I remove it, I can't remove it yet. So no more Puma matrices. If I remove it, I can still detonate it, right? Right? Intoxication, only 1-digit number, right? So Huma does work, but I don't know if Huma, Samir, whatever, you're gonna compare again, but Huma does work. Go compare it yourself. So very simple, right? We trigger it. There's a 50% chance with normal attack. It doesn't matter. 50%. How bad is the gacha lot, right? And then you can detonate it this way, right? Or this way. But you cannot keep detonating it because it has a cooldown of 16 seconds, was it? 15 seconds, right? So for example, if there is no note, right, and I try to do a intoxication mark, it won't appear unless there is a note, right? So there's a note right now. And intoxication could work. And I think it lasts for 15 to 16 seconds before you can trigger it again. Let's see. The moment it disappears, can we trigger it again? Let's summon those notes, right? It lasts for... Okay, there we go. and then you can trigger it again. So there's no cooldown, but you can't trigger it and trigger it again. Like it doesn't reset the cooldown or the duration or the buff or the debuff, whatever you call it. The next we're gonna cover is her skill called Soul Master. It separates the spirit and physical body, dealing 225.7% of attack plus 12 damage, and create a musical world that lasts for 30 seconds. So allow me to explain. Okay, I'm gonna summon the musical world first without a target, so you won't see the spirit body first. Just to let you see the feel first, right? Oh no, wait. So this is the physical body, is right there. And then this is the spirit body, and this is the musical feel. There's supposed to be music, but I turned it off, so I'm making videos. No, you have to resummon it. So this musical world lasts for 30 seconds, and in this field you take 8% less damage and ignore 35% of the target's defense. That's actually quite a lot. The spirit body has 30 times of your max HP, and 100% of non-passive damage received from Gladnir will be dealt back to the physical body. Meaning that if I summon the clone, right? For example, I summon the clone and I deal damage to the clone. The moment the clone returns to the owner, it will receive 100% of the damage. So while on this field, attacking enemy will allow you to regain 100% of their health. And yeah, if you do this, like if you're close, if you summon them nearby, you can actually do a AoE that actually hits both of them, dealing like some sort of a double damage, right? If I hit this clone, the real body is still gonna move. But there's a way, like if Valkyrie is flying around, you can summon this clone and attack this clone instead of the flying Valkyrie, right? Last thing is that the spirit actually lasts for 15 seconds, and when the spirit returns to its physical body, it also receives a total of AoE damage equal to 100. So when the spirit returns to its physical body after 15 seconds, it also receives a AoE damage equals to 1282% of attack plus 68. So you saw just now the explosion right there, that's the AoE damage. But the spirit body will return if the target is defeated, if the duration expires, if a new spirit body was summoned, like for example you're using the dice, right? I summon it, right? And then I use the dice to summon a new one, the old one will die. Or if the spirit body and physical bodies are too far away, right? And then the spirit will disappear as well. So Fenrir discharge is very straightforward. When a weapon is fully charged or trigger Fantasia, switching to this weapon from another weapon remove all debuff from the wielder just like every other weapon, and rushes you to the target to deal 1203.3% of attack plus 63 damage to target in range, and add 3 notes immune to damage, which means she has iframe for 2.6 seconds during the skill animation. So this is very good when bosses are moving around, right? Like they're very far. She actually rushes to the target, and I really love it. And then 3 notes, so you just do a dash attack to trigger the intoxication to do damage over time for 16 seconds, right? So this is actually not bad. So yeah, she also heals, right? She also heals. Oh yeah, her dash attack also does this little thing that shoots out just now. Yeah, you see that? I don't know. It was never noted what this do, but oh wait, it's actually a so it actually adds a note. Oh, now they have 5 notes. Okay, I did not know about that. So that dash does help. So for F2P, so now that we cover her combat key, let's cover her awakening. And as for F2P, you definitely want to get her to at least A1 to unlock a skill, right? So what A1 does is that when Soul Master is used and goes on cooldown, she gains another skill called Soundwave Frenzy, right? So pay attention to my icon right here. So it's like a Kagebushi no Jutsu icon, and if I summon that, I got the claw icon. It's called Soundwave Frenzy, and it rushes to the target and performs multiple attacks, right? With each hit adding 2 notes to the target, applying a short slowing effect and restoring 100% of attack as HP, deal 1542% of attack, and has a cooldown of 15 seconds. So the field AoE, the field that you're seeing right now, AoE, has 30 seconds cooldown, while her slash has a 15 seconds cooldown, right? So another thing to trigger Zackie-Senpai's skill reset is over here, right? So at A1 it addresses when 3 or more nodes are added and Soundwave Frenzy cooldown is longer than 5 seconds, reset the cooldown, right? So if you add 3 nodes to the enemy while you're having cooldown with the Soundwave Frenzy, the slash, right? So just trigger 3 nodes on the enemy first, right? Trigger 3 nodes on the enemy, right? Trigger 3 nodes on the enemy, and then you do it, and then you do Intoxication, right? That will reset the skill again. And then you can do it again, but of course this skill reset has a cooldown of 15 seconds. But if you have Saki Fuwa, let me just show you right here. So just to show you guys, my Saki is actually A1 and CN, and if I do this is the skill reset, right? I do this. Summoning the field is equal to 1 skill, and the slash is also equal to 1 skill, right? And then I do at least 3 nodes and do the Intoxication. That is also equal to another one, and then I can summon Ling Field, which is gonna reset everything, and you gotta keep going on, and that's actually insane. If you have A6 Ling, you're not gonna have problem resetting your skill. A2 is very straightforward, increase the current weapon base attack growth by 16%. A3 is actually very special. During Musical World, losing 45% of your HP or using Soundwave Frenzy, which is a slash, will activate Musical World Shockwave, dealing 1215% of attack to target inside Musical World. Losing 99% of your total HP grants 1 immunity block damage and invincibility for a short time for 45 seconds, and it can only be used 1 time. So A3 is actually quite powerful, right? During Musical World, meaning that during your AoE, losing 45% of your HP or using Soundwave Frenzy, which is slash, will activate Musical Wave Shockwave, dealing 1215% of attack to target inside Musical World. Losing 99% of your HP now. So basically, okay, before I read it, Fenrir has immortality for a few seconds at A3. If you lose 99% of your HP and remaining 1%, you will gain a immortality, block damage, and invincibility for a short time for 45 seconds, right? And it's only stacked up to 1 time, meaning that you have to die and then you'll reset. So it's actually very, very powerful, and it was up to 2 times during the beta, so they had to nerf this down, and I actually agree, she's really overpowered with this. And yes, I really can't show it to you guys because I don't have A3, and Bygone today is not A3, so yeah, immortality for 45 seconds and while that you can try to heal yourself up and then just play it safe from there. A4 increase the current weapon base attack growth by 32%, and A5 increase the damage of detonating nodes to 70%, and the damage over time is increased to 2% of max HP for 16 seconds. Remember that while intoxicated. During Musical World, if Musical World Shockwave is not triggered for 12 consecutive seconds while in combat, it will automatically be triggered once. And at 6 star, basically is a whale treatment. Increase crit rate by 30% when using Gleipnir. The effect remains active for 5 seconds after switching to another weapon, meaning it's going to be useful if you're trying to use it for discharge. So I do recommend getting her to A3 if you want to main her and you have the money and you love her and she's going to be your main DPS. But again, a lot of people are saying that's safe for the future character, but I really don't care. I just play Fenrir now because she's fun. So her Simulacra Trait. When equipping 2 weapons of different element, increase final damage by 18%. When equipping 3 weapons of different element, which we're doing right now with Saki, Fenrir, and Ling, increase final damage by 25% with Ling's field, a few percent, and also her balance resonance 15%, right? That's actually an insane increase of damage for final damage, right? So for Matrix's build, I totally recommend Shiro 2-piece, King 2-piece, Skeletor, which is a new boss 2-piece, or 4-piece if you have damage, right? So make sure, if you're not sure yet, the Ina's World Boss will give you a new Matrices 2 of this, and you actually need to wear chips to fight them. So I urge you to save them instead of using it to fight Hera and stuff like that. Save it for the Ina's 2.4 update. Now for Relic, it's very straightforward. You can use Dice, Count 2, or Drone, right? I totally recommend Drone because Fenrir doesn't shatter as great as Alice Saki combo. A1 Alice, A1 Saki, right? So you're gonna be using your clone to help you shatter, right? And you're... Wait, where's my clone? Okay. The rotation is very simple. Do this, add some nodes, and then do the Intoxication, and then reset, and then shatter like that, right? So my preferred team, if you want high DPS, because a lot of people are arguing with me that Tianlang is better. Yes, Tianlang is better, and I haven't covered him. I will cover him. He's a kamikaze, and you need to at least A3 him to do high damage. And in terms of survivability, I don't think so. So here's the high DPS team: Tianlang, Ling, Fenrir. If you want the FTP, high iframe and reset, and also amazing healing from Saki and as well as Fenrir, Saki A1, Ling, Fenrir. Now Saki can only, and then we also has the fast Shatter team if you want to use Alice, the clone, and the Bushin Relic. At least A1 because her clone, Ling, not as good as Saki team, but it will do if you're late and new to the game. But I still honestly prefer Saki, Ling, Fenrir. That's honestly, in my opinion, the best team for Fenrir. So there you have it. Should you pull for Fenrir? Well, I do think you should pull for Fenrir if you're a solo player that requires a Shatter for the bolt team. I mean, she heals, she Shatter, but not as great as Saki Alice combo, but still great against enemies that are weak to bolt. I am aware that people are saying you should save up for the future character that are from the 9th realm. And you are allowed to do that, but if you don't have a main Bolt DPS and plan on maining Bolt, I do think Fenrir is good. And if you're asking if she's better than Tianlang, yes she is, she's gonna be the main DPS. Is she better than Samir A6? Definitely. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely cover Tianlang and Lyra, and followed by a lot of content. And coming down this channel, I definitely will cover different anime games because that's what I'm really passionate about. But I like Final Fantasy is definitely my favorite game, and I haven't been making a lot of videos because December has been a very busy month. So I hope this helped you understand Fenrir a lot. My name is Zackie, and it's just a gaming channel.